Hi, my name is Justin, aka Ghost Reader, and today I'm doing my first daily vlog for POC-a-thon. I haven't done a daily vlog before, so I thought I'd get, try my hand at it. So POC-a-thon started last night. I'm one of the hosts, and I'm really excited to be doing this. I have a great TBR set up with great books. I think they're going to be great reads. And then I remembered that most of my time I'm not going to be in a place where I can just open the book and read. So I'm going to be at work and be driving. So I'm actually going to throw a couple more books onto my TBR. And so my first official read for POC-a-thon is going to be 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Marquez. When I did my recommendations video last year, this was one of the books I recommended you could read, and I picked this up during an Audible sale. So I'll be listening to this throughout the day, at least until I can get someplace or like have time to crack open a book or read on my Kindle. So that is the plan for today. At least I was starting out, and we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Alright, so update on the reading I've done so far. So I've actually read, or at least listened to about an hour and a half of 100 Years of Solitude. It's actually a quite interesting story. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but definitely not what I was expecting. I really like the style. I like the fact that it's generational. The things that happen are kind of weird and quirky, but it works for the story. And yeah, so I'm actually I really liked it. I listened to about maybe 2 hours total today. I think it'll be an hour and a half, 2 hours of that today. And I also read this book called Searching for Confederates. I was continuing reading that. I already started before the POC-a-thon, but I continue to read some more on that. Basically, that book is about breaking the myth of there being like thousands of Confederate soldiers, black Confederate soldiers that served in the army simply because they were like loyal to their masters and things like that. And it kind of talks about kind of the nuances of that. And basically what I read today was that a lot of slaves were brought along in the army as camp slaves. So they did like chores around the camp. They would bring food to their masters on the field, build their beds, do stuff for them. But they weren't considered soldiers. And even though some of them got paid as military soldiers, they were never given rank or anything like that. So none of them were privates or colonels or anything like that in the army. And that a lot of the myth making around there being like a lot of Confederate soldiers and they were supporting the South and their masters is because people haven't really looked at the evidence in like context. So they'll see like a black slave in a Confederate uniform in the picture with his white master and be like, see, that shows that they supported the South with all the enthusiasm and things like that. Where there were like a lot of reasons why a slave would not be supportive of the Confederacy, but why he was still, for example, be in the picture with his master, mainly because his master told him to. That's not to say that some of these slaves did not stick around or have loyalty to their masters. Some of them did. Even when they were given the chance to run away, like they stayed, and some were even like led their master's family to their bodies afterwards. But other slaves, once they got the chance to go, they were gone. Even slaves that didn't leave, they kind of negotiated more privileges around the camp to be able to do more things that they wouldn't be able to do as slaves. So the war, in a way, kind of challenged the whole master-slave dynamic and how that would work. Also, there are actually quotes of people saying in the Confederacy that if we make black people soldiers, we can't say that they can make good slaves, because they make good soldiers. Then our argument for the fact that they should be slaves is kind of false. It doesn't work anymore. So that was quite interesting. And actually, the Confederacy, until late in the war, like 1865, did not officially armed African American slaves to fight in the army. They resisted that until then, mainly because there were fears of what would happen if you actually gave slaves arms. So that's what I've read so far today. Probably gonna do a little bit more reading when I have a little bit more breaks. Then head home and get to do some reading when I get home. Alright guys, so I'm finally home, and I listened to some more of 100 Years of Solitude on the way home, and it's quite the book. I mean, there isn't a non-interesting character in the whole book. I think the best thing about the book is you're not sure where the characters are going to go. Like, you think something's going to happen, and then it's something unexpected happens and totally changes the trajectory for that particular character. I mean, we have a father who's eccentric. You have two sisters, well, at least one sister who's really mad at the other one and says she's going to kill her before she gets married. One has breakdowns and starts eating dirt when she gets really messed up. One brother ends up going to serve in the army even though he showed no propensity for it before. One becomes the tyrannical dictator of the town. So it's it's interesting, what Marquez was able to do with the story and the characters and keep it fresh and unexpected. And that's just wow. And as you can see, I'm sweating because... Can we turn on the AC?
Because you're going to hit your air conditioning. Turn it on anytime you want.
Really, Ma?
You paying the bill. And make sure I'm not on that bill.
Too late. Okay, now with the air conditioning on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start, for some parts of the night, I'm going to start Incognegro by Matt Johnson, art by Warren Police. This is about a black man who is a detective who is investigating some crimes, and he passes as white because he's so light-skinned. So he passes as white. I'll be digging into this. And I also will be reading some more of... This is a book I started before the POC-a-thon, but I'll be reading some more of Obviously by Akilah Hughes. And I'm 150 pages into this. I got this from Penguin Teen. And it's actually pretty good so far. I'm really liking her memoir so far. And also, something else, if I can find it. So one of my friends on BookTube, Alana, sent me a package or something that she wants me to look at. And in the package was Avatar: The Last Airbender, the complete series, with a note that says, "Hi Justin, welcome to your new favorite show." I'm not sure about that. A lot of people have raved about it. We shall see if this will become my new favorite show. But I've heard a lot about it. I just never got the chance to watch it. So yeah, that's basically what my plans for the rest of the night regarding POC-a-thon. Perhaps I'll watch one episode of this Last Airbender series. But yeah, so far my reads have been pretty good. 100 Years of Solitude has been great. Searching for Black Confederates has been informative, and so I really look forward to diving into these other two books. So I just finished reading the Incognegro, and this book was, it handles a lot of tough topics. And first I misspoke earlier. This isn't about black detectives, it's about black reporter. He's a reporter for a newspaper in Harlem. He gets news that his brother is in jail in the South and he's about to be lynched, and him and one of his friends goes down there to figure out what's going on. And so the story definitely deals with some really tough topics such as lynching and racism, and it was a good story, and it had some twists and turns there that I didn't see coming, but it was a good story. I think that Matt Johnson did a good job putting the story together. He himself took inspiration from the story. One, because he himself is a black man that can pass as white. He heard Walter White's story, who was NCAA leader, who used to go to town and investigate lynchings himself under the guise as a white man. And also, when his sons were born, one came out looked black, and the other one looked white, even though they had the same father, which is him, of course. And that's where he got the inspiration from the story, because the guy in the story, the newspaper guy can pass as white, but his brother cannot. He looks black. So two brothers who are twins in the story. I'm not sure if his sons were twins, but I think his sons may be twins. But in the story, they're twins. Came out of the womb at the same time, but one looks white and one looks black. So I thought it was really good story to read. So now I'm going to take a break before I move on to the next book, which is obviously by Keila Hughes. And well, actually, I need to get something to eat because I haven't eaten. All right, well, I did some more reading. I did some reading in Obviously, and it was actually really good. Read the part where she kind of talks about her college life. Well, not college life, but kind of like her post-college life, some other things she went through, and kind of went through some of the similar stuff, looking for a job and things like that. She kind of talks about eventually branching out and just taking a leap of faith and going to do like what she loved, which was like making videos and stuff, but trying to find her own way into the world and taking chances with that. And just going out kind of on a limb and moving to New York to kind of like, follow her dreams. So like I said, it's been pretty good so far. It's really late, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit the sack and wake up tomorrow eager to continue the readathon. I think if I keep reading, I got one book done already, which was Incognegro. I could probably finish, obviously, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, and I'll definitely keep listening to 100 Years of Solitude tomorrow, and I'm going to continue searching for Black Confederates tomorrow as well. I'm like 75 pages into that book. It's like 250 pages, I think. And I think tomorrow I'm going to start the 3-body problem. And yeah, so that's what my reading is going to look like. Been good first day. So I hope that I'll probably have this up on Tuesday, if all things considered, all things go well. So I hope that you guys are doing well with your readathons so far, with your readathon so far, because I know I am. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at GhostReads28, on Instagram at Justin the Ghost Reader, and also on Gary's. Link to that is down in the description box below. And as always, keep reading.